Well, welcome back, everyone. You know, it's 2025, and what does that mean for Auglaize County? Well, here to tell us is Auglaize County Administrator Erica Preston. Welcome, Erica.
Well, thanks for having me again.
Yeah, my pleasure. All right, it's always good to have you on. All right, full of information. You have lots of information about Auglaize County.
I do. And before we get to talking about 2025, is it okay if we talk about how 24 ended?
Yeah.
So that's always kind of the first thing we look at when we start 25 is how does how did 24 end? So one of the good things for us is that our revenue exceeded our expenses for the general revenue fund. So that's what you always want when you're balancing a budget. So that's a positive. And our sales tax, we've always talked about that being the bread and butter for our general revenue fund as far as revenue source, was up 3%.
Okay.
So some counties were really seeing dips down in their sales tax. Auglaize County, we had a slight uptick in the 3%. So that makes 2025 easier when we're talking about budgeting.
Yeah, so does that mean people were shopping more in Auglaize County?
That either means that or people are shopping online in Auglaize County because of the Wayfair decision a couple of years back. You know, if they're purchasing online, we're also getting sales tax.
Okay.
But it means, someone is shopping in Auglaize County, even if it's not Auglaize County residents.
I've done my fair share.
Thank you. Keep it going, keep it going. So that always is positive.
Yeah.
And that makes it easier for 2025. We did pass our annual appropriations yesterday. So 2025 budget is done for Auglaize County. You know, it's a living, breathing thing that we have to make changes to as we go throughout the year if things need to be adjusted. But we saw about an 11% increase to our general revenue fund. And some of those, it's a little bit bigger than we normally see as far as appropriation goes, but we do have one anomaly where administratively we had to pull some grant money that we got back to the general revenue fund because it wasn't expended. So it has to sit there on paper. So that's a kind of an increase we saw. Saw our health insurance go up 22%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, the cost of health insurance is going up. We had more employees want to come on. So, a big increase when you're talking about health insurance for families.
Yeah.
And then we did issue a 4% increase to salary line items.
Okay, so let's talk about goals. Maybe that's always an exciting thing for Auglaize County. So, any goals for the new year?
Well, probably two big goals for the new year. The first is continuing to secure grant funding at the state or federal level so that we're not using local dollars for projects that we can use other funding sources for. So that's always a big goal that we have. And then the second for 2025 is we do have our 0.5% sales tax renewal that will be on the ballot in November. So that's one of the things is to make sure we're educating folks to make sure that sales tax renewal gets passed.
Yeah. So when you're talking about grant money, is that something that's difficult to come across? Like, everyone always applies for grants, but, I imagine you have to really dot the I's, cross the T's, and do more to, get that grant money, accepted into the county.
Yeah, you're finding, and we're finding, that they're becoming more and more competitive. Because, right after COVID, we were seeing a lot of grant funding being available, so it didn't feel as competitive because there was a lot more money. Now that that's kind of trickling off and drying up a little bit, we're back to kind of that standard environment for grants. So we really have to be diligent. There's lots of grant opportunities out there. It's just being diligent in pursuing it and really telling the story of why our projects fit what the grant's there for.
Yeah, I always felt like after COVID, it was just like anything was with a grant, it just didn't matter. It was all just willy-nilly, just here's some money, but yeah, so now things have changed. So, coming across 2025, any other things that maybe you can let out of the bag?
Well, our jail expansion project is going on. That is supposed to be done May 19th, 2025.
Okay.
When I say May, we're probably looking more like September, just how things happen, right? But we're excited that one's going to be finished in 2025.
Yeah.
So that's a huge project that we've been working on. $6 million project, partially grant funded, which is exciting, right? So that's one that should be completed in 25. We're going to pursue another brownfield grant for the Auglaize Acre property.
Yeah.
So those are just some revitalization and redevelopment type opportunities that we really are hoping for.
Yeah, always good things happening in Auglaize County. So, Erica, thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate it as always.
Thank you.
All right, well, don't go away because medical news is coming up next.